China spy case collapses. Government releases witness statements, but questions remain. In a move that has sparked both intrigue and controversy, the UK government has released key witness statements from a collapsed spy case involving two men accused of working for China. This decision comes amidst a heated debate over national security, economic interests, and the delicate balance between transparency and diplomatic relations. But here's where it gets controversial. While the statements reveal alarming details about China's alleged espionage activities, they also highlight the government's desire to maintain a positive economic relationship with Beijing. And this is the part most people miss. The case's collapse raises questions about the UK's ability to prosecute espionage cases effectively, especially when they involve powerful nations like China. The story begins with the government's Deputy National Security Advisor, Matthew Collins, who warned in 2023 that China was engaged in large-scale espionage against the UK. This statement, along with two others released this year, paints a picture of a sophisticated and persistent threat to the UK's economic prosperity, democratic institutions, and national security. Collins' 2023 statement, submitted under a Conservative government, bluntly asserts that Chinese intelligence services conduct extensive espionage operations to advance their state's interests at the expense of the UK's security. Fast forward to February 2025, now under a Labour government, and Collins reiterates China's authoritarian nature and its dual role as both a vital economic partner and the most significant state-based threat to the UK's economic security. He further elaborates in August 2025, linking China's espionage operations to specific incidents, such as a cyber attack on the UK Electoral Commission between 2021 and 2023. However, Collins also stresses the government's commitment to fostering a positive economic relationship with China, a point that has raised eyebrows among critics who question the UK's resolve in countering espionage threats. The case in question involves Christopher Cash, a former parliamentary researcher with ties to the Commons China Research Group, CRG, and Christopher Berry. Both were charged under the Official Secrets Act in April 2024, accused of gathering and providing information detrimental to the UK's safety and interests between December 2021 and February 2023. The charges were unexpectedly dropped last month by the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, leading to accusations of a cover-up from Tory leader Kemi Badenoch and criticism from ministers and MPs. The controversy deepens. The collapse of the case has ignited a political firestorm. The Conservatives allege that the Labour government failed to provide sufficient evidence to avoid damaging relations with Beijing. Labour counters that the alleged offences occurred under the Conservatives' watch, and thus the prosecution could only be, according to Collins. Berry was recruited by the Chinese state and directed to utilise Cash, who had access to sensitive information through his work with the CRG and other MPs. Cash, in turn, allegedly shared information with an individual named Alex, believed to be a Chinese agent. This included insights into the political landscape, such as the prospect of Tom Tugendhat becoming a minister and Jeremy Hunt's potential withdrawal from the Conservative leadership race. Cash, however, has vehemently denied the allegations, stating, "I have been placed in an impossible position. I have not had the daylight of a public trial to show my innocence, and I should not have to take part in a trial by media." He argues that the released statements lack the context that would have been provided in a trial, leaving him unable to fully defend himself. Legal twist. The Director of Public Prosecutions explained that the case collapsed because the government did not provide evidence explicitly labelling China as a national security threat at the time of the alleged offences. This legal technicality, stemming from a precedent set earlier this year, underscores the complexities of prosecuting espionage cases involving foreign states. The CPS initially sought further clarification from Collins after his first statement, but was reportedly unclear about what additional information was needed to meet the threshold for prosecution. The bigger picture. This case raises critical questions about the UK's approach to national security and its relationship with China. How can the UK balance its economic interests with the need to protect against espionage? Is the current legal framework sufficient to address the evolving threats posed by foreign states? And perhaps most controversially, are political considerations influencing the prosecution of national security cases? Your turn to weigh in. What do you think? Is the UK government doing enough to counter espionage threats? Or are economic interests taking precedence over national security? Should the legal system be reformed to better handle cases involving foreign states? Share your thoughts in the comments below. This is a conversation that needs your voice.